Hello, my name is Jaquita from Pomeranian Palace, and I have had so many people ask me over the past several months about what the spas they are or that they need to have on hand if they're going to have a puppy delivery. So in my case, of course, it's always Pomeranians, nothing else. In fact, here's one now. Where's he at? Bruce! Hi, Brucey! That's my Tiny. Anyway, I'm going to show you my cart. I call it my birth cart. It only has things I use for birth or puppies, and then if anybody has the interest, I will show you my grooming cart, and gosh, I have a lot of other stuff. But anyway, hold on. So this is the cart. I bought it on Amazon. I love Amazon. I have Prime right now because I'm a student. This is my handy scale, and I have so many people ask about that. It's digital and it lights up. That is the big thing because it is so hard to see, especially when you're trying to keep the lights low if you've got babies that are sleeping. So this is the scale I use. It's kind of big. It's there's my hand for reference, but I love it. I've had it for many years, and I would highly recommend it to anybody, and I will try to link it in the comments. And I always keep a little receiving blanket up here just because I can set them up there if I am weighing or whatever. Okay, so for the babies. Alright, so drawer one. I keep a lot of products. I order these things already sterilized. They are human grade or whatever. I don't reuse them. I just throw them away. I find it easier, and that way I know that they're always clean. I keep these bulbs on hand always, and these are the ones like the hospital uses. I keep these just in case I have a big litter, which is not that common, but that way I can keep track of who is number 1, 2, and 3 in the birth order, and especially if they look a lot alike. Sometimes I have a whole litter of sables, and that helps me determine which one is what weight, because I keep a board with their weights. These are little clamps. I love them. I rarely need them, but they are little butterfly clamps, and they're great if you have a navel that needs some attention. Of course, these I can use to cut the umbilical cord if mom doesn't do it. Just some little gauze pads. These are marketed as ear cleaners, but I have found they are really good at removing mucus and stuff from the back of a baby's throat. So I keep those in here. They have one side is a little like cup, and the other side is a brush. And then of course, the thermometer. You always have to keep a thermometer. I keep blood stop stick. I use dental floss to tie it off if need be. If mom takes care of it, usually you don't even need to mess with it. I always keep a little antibiotic ointment on hand if I have to do anything to the navel. I use betadine, which I keep in a big bottle separately, and it's actually a big spray bottle, and so I don't have it in the cart. I keep it separate, but and then I use a little antibiotic ointment. These are birthing tools that I keep just in case. You can just kind of look at them. Here's a bigger pair of forceps just in case, but I don't usually need them. In fact, I've never needed them. This is like it looks like tongs, but it is to, if you have a baby's head that gets stuck behind the pelvis, and I'm not going to open them because they're sterile, but as you can see, it's like it's a really neat little tool. I've never had to use it. I hope I don't ever have to use it, but in the middle of the night, I would be willing to try it if I have somebody that's having issues and the vets are closed and I have to go an hour away. Okay. I always say NutriCal, NutriCal, NutriCal. Well, I was not just saying that for fun. This is just what I keep on hand, and this doesn't include what I have out right now that I use on the babies, or actually I give the new moms some whenever right after birth, and they love it. So I give them little treats of it. But anyway, this is just what I keep on hand. If it gets lower than this, I get nervous and I order more. These are great. This was my preference, but I can't find them anymore. So if anyone has seen them or knows why they've stopped making them, or if they're just changing the label, I would love to hear about that, because I have looked everywhere. The High Bite is my next choice. I love them as well. This is the only nipple I have ever had success with bottle feeding or nipple feeding. And I am not a spokesperson for this company. I'm just telling you it works. MiracleNipple.com. You can order them. They're relatively inexpensive. I order extra nipples. I have the packs, and then I have extra syringes. The syringes are awesome. They're just really smooth flowing. And that's all in this drawer. Okay, so the next drawer down. Alright, so as you can see, I have tried them all. I've tried all feeders, including I've done the wedge sponges. There's not something I haven't tried. If I have one that's weak, I have plenty of tubes on hand. I use them for the one puppy, sterilize them in between, and then throw them away at the end. I keep this in here. I feed this. I do not buy puppy formula. After many years, I have found this is the best, but these are all just junk I've bought, and this isn't even all. I've thrown away so many that didn't work. So go to the next one. I keep my gloves in here. This is a digital thermometer. This is usually full of flashlights. I always need a flashlight because I try to keep the lights dim whenever I have babies. So this is usually full of flashlights. It's just that I have 4 litters right now, so the other 4 flashlights are in with the moms. And then again, whole box of gloves because I go through a lot. This is just heating pads. I order these off Amazon as well. Whenever I'm done with them, I wash them, sterilize them, and put them back in these little things. Again, I normally have 6, but right now there's 4 being used. Blankets, washcloths, syringes with needles attached, which, gosh, you can never have enough of those. And this is more for the mom side. Well, actually, these larger needles, if I have a puppy that's not thriving and I have to do sub-Q fluids, then I use this to pull it out of the IV bag, which I always have on hand. But anyway, this is just things I use and keep on hand in case you want to see. These are just other sizes besides my big box down in the bottom. This is a thing to help you determine the gestation. I don't even use it. I just have it. Normally I have a fetal Doppler in here where I can listen to the babies, and this is the transmission gel or whatever it's called. But my daughter-in-law has it because she has been pregnant. I keep this stuff. I've never had to use it. I keep it just in case of an emergency and I can't get to the vet for whatever reason, which I do have a vet now that is 24 hours and not an hour away if I need to go there. Of utmost importance to have on hand. I cannot stress to you how important. I've had 2 girls that I was mentoring that have either lost a dog, a Pom specifically, or almost lost one. And it always happens, it seems like it's not time. So always keep this on hand. And I also supplement with cottage cheese. I give them a cup of cottage cheese every day for the first 2 weeks after birth. I get the whole fat, 4%. Small curd is what mine prefer, but you could use any, it doesn't really matter. I keep a can of this in here. I only give it to the moms if they want it, or if they're not eating well or whatever. Rarely have that issue. I keep some of those. I have a bunch more in my closet. I hate to admit it, but I have a dog closet, big one. Multivitamins. This is, I want to say oxytocin. Is that what it is? It's what makes them go into labor or help their labor. Yeah, oxytocin injections. That's just to have on hand if someone's milk doesn't come in. That really helps. And also, if you have a mom that's labor stalls, you can give them one of those while you're on your way to the vet. Found this new product. I have the big container of Panicure liquid in my fridge. I keep it in the fridge, and I also have the Pomeranian, a big one of those, in my living room because that's where my dogs stay most of the time. I found this recently. I love it. It's less messy. You can make sure it stays in the puppy's mouth. I've really loved it. I also found Drontal liquid for puppies. I should have brought that in here. I've been using it, so it's out in the living room, but I'd never seen the liquid, and I got it, and I took it to the vet and showed her, and she said it absolutely is just fine. It's basically the same thing as this, which this is what I use for adults and puppies the day or few days before they go home. This is just another new Panicure product I found. I'm a big proponent of the Drontal. It is my favorite for adults and older puppies. I do 5 days. Okay, I do Pomeranian at 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10 weeks if they're still here. I do a full 5 days of Panicure. That was because I went to the breeder convention, and that was highly recommended. I also do a week before mom goes into labor. I give her Panicure for a week. It helps with that as well. Almost done. This is my heart. Okay, I should have all my dogs on the same one, but I don't. Brutus gets and any babies that are, around 6 months age or less, but Brutus as well. They use it's Revolution for puppies. I just think it's safer for him. He has neurological issues. I have this. I cut it down. I ordered it for a big dog, and then I cut it down. It's okay. Not my favorite. It's messy. This is a really good product. I have several that are on just the heart guard. The only problem with that is, of course, it is just heart guard. It doesn't really do much else. I have some that are on the value heart, and I always keep Confortis on hand just in case I see a flea. We treat our yard, so it's rarely an issue. I have this just from a while back. I thought I would try it. Didn't ever really use it. I just stick with the stuff I know works because I do not want to have to deal with anything like a heartworm. I would just die. These are my DNA kits. This is just a miscellaneous drawer. It has my microchips. I use the really small ones now. This is one old one I have left. I think I might have a few more in my dog closet, but I use this really small ones now. And here's my reader, which I really like this reader. Easy to use, it's small, works perfect. It's a different little scale in case I have, whatever reason, I might need one. I just keep a little bit of everything. This is Flora for our probiotics. This is albuterol in case I have anybody that's struggling to breathe. Well, mainly Brutus because he has the neurological issues. I keep this on hand because it's supposed to help if they were to ever get into something poisonous. I make a valiant effort to never let anything be down that is poisonous, but I have a lot of children. Ear cleaner, more of that is in my grooming station. Nose drops, just random stuff. Oh, diaper cream. This is what I found that works good whenever you have one that has a poopy butt. And if you have Poms, you know what I'm talking about. Nose drops, eye drops, eye drops again. Oh, if you ever have one that's constipated, you can take one of these and use your fingers to make it really small. Works great. For vomiting, that was my little boy's medicine, and that he had way too much, and I asked the vet, and she said it was fine to give to dogs. Just some antibiotics. Always keep Benadryl on hand. You can see I have 2 different kinds, and that's really about it. thank you for watching, and I hope this helped answer some of your questions. If you can think of any other ones, just drop me a line, and I'll be happy to share if I know the answer, and if not, I may can find it for you. And if you can think of something else you'd like to watch, just let me know. Thank you.